Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's topic of discussion is going to be carburetor needles, specifically changing them on the S2 carburetors. Now what I have in front of me is an HS2, HS4, and an HIF carburetor. And they all change sort of about the same way, but there are distinct differences between these carburetors. So let me take you in and we'll talk about the HS2 in a moment. But I do want to point out that if you have a car that's running oddly, first try doing the baseline procedure mixture. Make sure your car is running properly at idle. And then if you drive it and it seems to not drive properly, then it will need tuning. So if you want to try changing needles to try and fix a tune problem, then we need to go through this process. Now, when you take the top off of your carburetor, and on the HS2 it's held on by two screws, and by the way, you need to pay attention to which way the lid is oriented because it can be put on 180 degrees around. That could cause issues. But when you go to remove the carburetor piston, first you get a chance to take a look at the spring. So these are a maintenance item, and if they are worn out, you should replace one with a fresh one. But also, once this comes out, you get a chance to take a look at the condition, make sure this is all nice and clean. We want our carburetors to work properly, and the only way they do that is by being clean. So once you get the piston out, the next thing that I typically like to check when I'm doing a rebuild or a tune is the condition of this piston cushion. So on this one, it's basically flush with the surface. There's a little bit sticking out, but it's basically worn out. So this piston cushion will need to be replaced. So this is a carburetor that I need to rebuild. So I wouldn't use this on a customer's car until I've rebuilt this, but you need to check your piston cushions. There should be about 12 thousandths of stick out on the cushion, and if you don't have that, then that could cause an issue at idle. But just make sure you check that when you take the top off. Also, the condition of the needle. Now you notice this one is black. It's stained black from fuel having gone bad on it. Now I would not reuse a needle that has staining like this. So if there's any pitting, staining, scratches, scars, etc. on your needle, just go get a fresh needle, because that damage will cause fueling problems depending on where it is and whether or not it's if it's a pit or a scar way down here at the bottom, it could cause tremendous problems at idle, versus way out here it may not be so much of an issue. But either way, best to just start with a fresh needle. So how do we get the needles out of the pistons? Well, there's a little screw here. And on the HS2 carburetors, the fixed needle type, getting the screw out can be quite difficult. Getting the needle out can be quite difficult. Now on this piston, the needle is actually set a little too far down. And the way I know that is by using a straight edge. I can see whether or not the shoulder is flush with this straight edge, and I do not see it flush with the straight edge. So let me go ahead and take this out, and I'll show you how to properly install one. So here is a brand new needle, and you can see there's a small shoulder right here on the needle. That shoulder needs to be flush with the top of this collar. So when I fit the needle in like this, this needs to sit totally flush. And the way that you should do it is by using some sort of straight edge. I happen to have a little machinist square here, but if you have a rule, pretty much anything that is straight and has a nice crisp corner that you can rest against that shoulder, then go ahead and rest it against it. And while it's seated, you can tighten up the screw. So the way I like to do this is I will put a little bit of tension on the needle before I press it in all the way. So again, just a light amount of tension, and I will slide this down until it's flush. So there you go. That is flush with the top, and I will double check it after I tighten the screw. It's always important to double check the position of the piston collar in relation to the needle. Make sure that is totally flush. You don't want to be able to see any daylight through that. You also don't want to be able to rock. So if this was doing this, that means that the shoulder would be sticking proud of the surface. And since we just set it this way, there's no stick out, so it's not rocking. So that's good. That's how you want to set an HS2. So With that having been installed, let me talk about issues that can crop up on the HS2 carburetor when refitting the piston. The needles are different thicknesses, and that's a problem for fixed jet carburetors because when the piston goes into the body, the needle sticks down here into the jet. And in order for this piston to move up and down freely, the slightly larger jet must be exactly centered around the needle. So if you have to do a needle change on HS2 carburetor, you need to be able to fit this, and it needs to be able to drop in nice and smoothly. See how that is nice and smooth for starters. But more importantly, when you fit the lid, and yes, the spring should be in there, I know, but I'm just demonstrating. When you fit the lid and tighten the screws down, be careful and double check to make sure that the piston can move freely as you're tightening the screws, because if you tighten the screws and the piston gets stuck, that means that the needle is not centralized against the jet, and the jet is literally hitting the needle. So if you have a problem when you change needles and the piston doesn't drop smoothly, then you need to re-centralize the jet in order for this carburetor to work properly. Otherwise, you will damage the jet, or you'll damage the needle, or you damage both, and that's a problem. So if you're working with an HS2, make sure you check that the jet is centralized when doing a needle change. So moving on to the HS4, with its piston removed, you can see this is what they refer to as the biased sprung needle or bias needle, and there's a small spring which pushes this needle forward. Part of this change was to alter how the fuel comes out of the jet, so the factory was trying to do improvements, but the other thing, it negated the need to worry about centralizing the jet because the needle could move around freely. So with these carburetor pistons, the way that you remove the needle is basically the same. There's another set screw on the side, and you just remove it to release the collar. Now, once again, these collars can be quite sticky, so just be prepared for a little bit of a battle. And the biggest problem I see with these is that you'll typically have a small indentation that forms in this collar. So if I bring you in closely, we can see there is a subtle indentation right there where the screw has been jammed into the brass collar. And you don't want to have an indentation there, because what happens is that the collar wants to rest in that little indentation when you tighten the screw up, and if the collar isn't at the right position, then it'll mess up your it'll mess up your needle position and alter your fueling. So if you happen to have a collar that has this little divot, what you can do is you can use a small file such as this and just gently file down the divot, making sure you're holding the file flat against the surface to remove this properly. So let me go ahead and remove this, and then I'll go ahead and refit this collar to this carburetor and reseat the needle. So I've gone and removed that divot from this collar. So now I can go ahead and reinstall this. So once again, there's a little spring. Make sure you got your spring on your top hat needle, and it just rests in the collar like this. So once again, fitting it to the HS4, the groove lines up with the screw. And once again, I like to just apply a light amount of tension to the screw so that when I push the collar in surface with the top of the piston, it will just slide nicely. So once again, bring in the straight edge, set the collar down, and then tighten the screw. And that should be flush with the bottom of the piston. And I always, again, double check, make sure that you can't see daylight shining through that gap, because if you can see daylight, it's not set up properly. So that is properly installed on HS4. So moving on to the HIF series. It's the same as the HS4. This is a brand new carburetor. This is a brand new HIF 44. And it's never been installed in a car, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this out and double check, because I noticed that this collar has a bit of a step. You can see the screwdriver just knocks off that little step. So this is not installed properly, so let me just go ahead and remove it. Ah, of course. This one also has a small divot. So someone at the factory over-tightened the screw, and it's now dented this collar as well. So this just goes to show that you have to check all the parts you fit to your car to make sure they are working properly. So just because it's new doesn't mean that it's installed correctly. You got to check and measure all the parts. Otherwise, you can have issues. So that's pretty much it for installing needles. Like I said, if you're in there, to have a look at some of the maintenance items and make sure you install it properly and make sure you find the baseline once you've reinstalled the new needle. So every time you change your needle, you need to refine the baseline because the base idle mixture will change from needle to needle. You've got to do that baseline procedure every single time. So hopefully guys you appreciated that video. I know it's a relatively simple concept, but I find it wrong so many times. So please pay attention to when you're assembling your carburetors because it's actually quite important to get that position set up properly. So hopefully you guys appreciated this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.